Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chassi Cohen. I'm the Dean of the Leonard Davis School. Welcome, our graduates, your family and friends. Thank you for being here today as we celebrate all of you, the USC Leonard Davis School of Gerontology class of 2025. This year has already been a tumultuous one, with many changes and challenges directly affecting older adults, scholars who study them, and the field of aging itself. But even in a time of unpredictability, this year is also one of the celebration and reflection as we look back on 50 years of the Leonard Davis School. 5 decades of remarkable accomplishments that include the creation of all the unique and innovative degree programs that you're receiving diplomas for today. As you begin the next part of your life's journey, armed with knowledge and purpose, you give us hope for a brighter future for the field in the decades to come. As I say every year as an indicator of our success, with more than 240 graduates representing many states and countries, you are the largest graduating class ever. Hopefully next year will be larger. You've done so much more than just complete a degree program. Your Leonard Davis School education has prepared you to improve the lives of older people, to appreciate and build upon the contributions of prior generations, and to contribute to better health and well-being for everyone. I know you will continue our school's half-century of tradition in service, innovation, and success. I'm certain that the next 50 years will see us make even more revolutionary discoveries in aging science, prevent and delay disease, and allow everyone to enjoy fuller, healthier, longer lifespans. Working across disparate fields, you will be the leaders who see to it that the foods we eat, the homes and communities we live in, the care we receive, the services we provide, the technology we develop, the medicine we invent, and the policies we promote all come together to build a new way to age. Our distinguished faculty, and thank all of you for being here, have taught you to advance discoveries in disease prevention and health promotion, advocate for age-friendly policies and services, and to work towards a more just and equitable society. Imparting their lessons will become your legacy. I, as well as your family and friends who are filling this space, supported your journey, look forward to living in the future that you create for all of us. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the Student Gerontology Association, Natalie Mao, who will be delivering a commencement address on behalf of our students. Natalie.
Thank you, Dean Cohen, Dean Henke, our student services staff, our amazing faculty, and all of your family and friends that have come to celebrate, most importantly, you, the class of 2025 USC Gerontology graduates. Gerontology emphasizes how experiences cannot be generalized. So I'll share a little bit of what I found meaningful about this course of study and hope something resonates. As a freshman, I often got, "Oh, you study old people?" And I still do. Maybe it's a joke or internalized stigma, but if all goes well, we'll all get old. Really, we study how to live life fully and help more people go through it with dignity. Studying aging also means we're always learning, in and out of school. I remember a doctor telling me that she loved working with older patients because they're always teaching her something new. We're not just caregivers. We're students of life, and we gain wisdom from those we serve. This field of study is special because we learn to assess situations holistically. We don't see a medical sickness or neurological issue, but instead a whole person. And our professors have so passionately shared with us a specialty, whether that's in administration, policy, or nutrition, which we weave into our understanding of a person's influences. The humanity to acknowledge a whole person makes us better advocates for older adults and better people, which artificial intelligence has yet to capture. I find that my peers make a conscious decision to study gerontology, and I believe anyone with this foresight will have the character to allow their personality and perspectives to shine anywhere they go. As you enter your next chapter, I'm truly so excited to see where you bring gerontology to and how you continue learning from those around you. Congratulations, class of 2025. It's been an honor to study alongside you.
Thank you, Natalie. What a wonderful speech. It's always good to hear our student leaders reflect on their experience at the USC Leonard Davis School. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Eli Gindi. Eli is a distinguished member of our Board of Counselors, an elite group of business leaders and other professionals with a strong interest in the field of aging. But Eli is unique amongst them. Before joining our board, Eli enjoyed a successful career focused on aging and the needs of older adults. He has owned and operated several assisted living communities and is the founder of eldergadget.com, a website that provides technology news and reviews of products with older adults' needs and wants in mind. Eli, not content to merely hear about the inner working of the school, wanted to experience the school as a student as well. He enrolled and will be graduating today as part of the Masters of Arts class of 2025. In his time with the school, Eli has also provided generous scholarship support for our students and has become a role model for lifelong learning. I'm personally indebted to Eli for his advice and counsel during challenging times that I have had over the last few years. Thank you, Eli. We're looking forward for your comments.
Good afternoon. Dean Cohen, esteemed faculty, dear friends, family, and fellow graduates, I stand before you today keenly aware that I am not the typical student receiving a degree. I had a long and blessed career, yet finishing this master's degree is one of the proudest achievements of my life. I could not have done it without the support and encouragement of my family, friends, and my colleagues at Davis. Dean Cohen, you have made my time here unforgettable, putting up with all my creative ideas and requests. You gave me room to explore and expand my ideas. Maria Henke, you have guided me wisely and had my back at every turn. Professor Aaron Hagedorn, your friendship and support provided me with a platform to express my creativity and believe in myself. I would also like to thank former Dean Ruth Weissman of the Roski School of Fine Arts for expanding my mind through art and drawing. I want to thank my children, Jack, Alexandra, Rachel, Jacob, Dennis, and Gabby, and Alan for encouraging me to finish my degree. And I want to acknowledge my 3 grandsons, Eli, David, and Eli Ezra. And last but not least, my wife Sharon, to whom I owe everything. I love you more each and every day. You are amazing. I definitely got the better of the deal. My mom is here today, and I dedicate this speech to you, Mom. I've inherited my love of learning from you and have been inspired by your dedication to education. I love you, Mom. Let's take a moment to thank all of the other mothers and fathers here today who also supported all their children to make this day possible. Fellow graduates, please join me with thanking them. Stephen Breyer, the former Supreme Court Justice, told a story about when he was a professor in Harvard Law School. He was grading exams, and he saw the student had written him a message on one of the pages of the exam book. Professor Breyer, he said, I want you to know that if I had 1 hour left to live, I would want to spend that hour sitting in your class. The professor was very flattered. But then he turned the page of the booklet, and he saw that the student continued as follows. Because, Professor Breyer, an hour in your class feels like an eternity. So I've been fortunate to experience the professors at USC, all of whom were interesting and instructors and did not feel like it was an eternity. But there is a deeper insight into this antidote, one that lies at the very heart of gerontology. Every bit of time granted us on this earth is a gift, one to be embraced. Or to put it another way, every hour can be an eternity. This is best expressed by a biblical verse in the book of Psalms. Teach us to count our days so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Knowing how precious your time is today, I'd like to briefly share with you how a pivotal moment in my own life and my education here at USC allowed me to truly appreciate the preciousness of time itself. In November 2015, when I was 65 years old, I was on the 18th hole of a round of golf. I felt a strange sensation down the left side of my body, but I dismissed it as symptoms of a recent neck surgery. Following the advice of one of my golf partners, our dean, I called my primary doctor and left an urgent message. But since it was a holiday weekend, it took longer than usual. I didn't know it yet, but I had had a stroke. An hour later, upon arriving at the hospital, a well-meaning but inexperienced resident examined me and asked me to make a decision about whether I wanted a clot-busting shot or that had a 5% chance of killing me. I said I wanted to see my doctor, and he said there wasn't time. I didn't get the shot, and the doctors instead inserted 2 stents in my carotid arteries, which probably saved my life. While I still experience some after effects of this day, I took my recovery into my hands. I started drawing, playing guitar, designing games, teaching courses, exercising, eating better, and most importantly, playing with my grandchildren. I learned to count each day, to treasure time, and every day has become all the richer. Like Kipling once said, fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything on it. But it was only here at USC, while I was taking a psychology of aging class, taught by Professors Zelinsky and Nash, that I experienced an epiphany. As part of an assignment, I revisited my health scare, and I suddenly realized that while I'd spent much of the last 10 years blaming my doctors for missing some signs of the stroke that was to come, in truth, part of the responsibility was mine. There were minor pre-stroke events on which I failed to act. I had had symptoms, and I should have used my instinct and questioned my doctors early about their earlier decisions and recommendations. While I felt justified in blaming others, I realized that my health outcomes were ultimately on me, and that I needed to become better informed. Rehashing the experience for the assignment helped me let go of something that weighed me down for the better part of a decade. I was fortunate that I was more fortunate than most. I had access to the best hospitals, the best doctors, and I have a great education. And I ran assisted living homes for 10 years. Even so, I and my doctors missed things that landed me in a life-threatening situation. I would never have missed them if they happened to a friend or a member of my family. But I had a blind spot when it came to my own health. I had taken my own days for granted. Learning that my health is my responsibility was daunting, but ultimately cathartic, and my life has been all the better for it since. And so, let us learn to count our days so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Or as the doctor thinker Leon Cass once put it, to know that our days are numbered is the key to making every one of them count, to treating every hour as one in which we can make an eternity of difference in our lives and the lives of others. As graduates of USC Davis, you have knowledge, you have experience, and you have the skills from the best gerontology school in the world to go out and make sure that you, the ones you love, and the people in your communities live their best life and healthiest life. Congratulations on this milestone, but now the real work truly begins. May you truly treasure the days bestowed upon you. May every minute be filled with 60 seconds of distance run, and may God grant you every success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eli. It is now time to recognize our graduates. By the authority vested in me by the USC Board of Trustees and President, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificates for which you have been recommended by the faculty with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. As evidence of these degrees and certificates, I shall direct that an appropriate diploma of the University of Southern California be presented to each of you, signed by its officers and embossed with the seal of the University of Southern California. Congratulations, class of 2025. Fight on. Sean?
Individuals, societies, and aging. Sarada Laxmanan. Science, Health, and Aging. Kylo Ferwin Alianza Malyari. Sumaya Naqshi. Geroscience. Joliah Aldridge. Bachelor of Science in Human Development and Aging. Aliza Arfan. Layla Belkadi. Andrew Bong. Karan Chen. Samuel Chuang. Vandita Gorla. Anthony Guan. Isaac Ethan Hamid. Elise Hong. Caitlin Sarah Shu. John Kim. Evelyn Lee. Ethan Panusi. Joshua Sr. Daniela Sue. Megan Wong. Maria Guadalupe Lopez. Amor Mathershed. Jordan Roberson. Bachelor of Science in Lifespan Health. Lauren Elizabeth Blake. Janessa Alexandra Contreras. Isaac Juarez. Carissa Liu. Master of Arts in Long-Term Care Administration. Melissa Limon. Lavita Lachelle Reed. Matthew Stevenson. Master of Arts in Aging Services Management. Pei Zhang He. Min Fang. Yu Die Hu. Yue Kai Hu. Esther Zheng. Tian Jin. Wei Xuan Ling. Yu King. Tavia Roche. Chi Yan Tong. Chen Yu. Ke Xu. Chuyang Zhao. Yuman Yang. Mei Hui Zhu. Master of Science in Applied Technology and Aging. Ding Qi Duan. Yingqi Ji. William Wong. Qi Zhang. Master of Arts in Senior Living Hospitality. Brianna Belmonte. Ke Yi Ding. Riley Alden Anders Gould. Chung Yi Xie. Stephen Pratt. Megan Terry Priest. Chunpeng Wu. Yen Xu. Master of Arts in Medical Gerontology, Allison Chang. Kelvin Chong. Andrew Kim. Tiffany Ann Veeder. Victoria Wang. Master of Arts in Gerontology, Vasilisa Buinaya. Le Chi Chen. Wan Qing Dong. Nestor Santiago Herente. Beverly Salter Gianna. Yensong Hu. Heidi Zhang. Rei Chi Liu. Zeikun Liu. Jia Hui Yu. Ding Chuan Zhang. Brandon Keir Smith. Celia Elaine Safran. Christy Verban. Marquita Williams. Master of Science in Gerontology, Sophia Aguirre. Frank Christopher Arevalo. Aaron Cayetano. Yi Nuo Chu. Albert Bobby Grandy III. Ya Fei He. Xin Yin Lian. Rol Chi Liu. Si Zhou Liu. Tanya Thrash Malone. Isaac Schaefer. Yoichi Shimizutani. Sheridan Janine Sotelo. Jing Shran Sun. Shu Nuan Sun. Yu Fei Sun. Xiang Hui Wang. Yifei Wang. Zhizhou Yang. Minghui Yi. Yuchuan Zhang. Zhirui Zhang. Master of Arts in Food Service Management and Dietetics, Yi Chan. Pakapol Rojanapan. Han Yu Wang. Master of Science in Lifespan, Nutrition, and Dietetics, Caitlin Gertler. Si Ki Wang. Master of Science in Nutritional Science, America Amaro. Lauren Jones. Yvonne Leng. Kiara Pomari. Master of Science in Nutrition, Health Span, and Longevity, Ellen Amico. Charlotte Emily Baden. Elisa Bear. Kayla Alicia Boggs. Sabrina George Bufadel. Adi Chazum. Jillian Cleland. Melissa Corral. Delaney DeSantis. Arev Hagopian. Celia Margolin. Daniel Parr. Hua Peng. Ania Prochowska-Szkarowecki. Catherine Rial. Talia Shakib Ko. Celine Tran. Emily Wagstaff. Fong Wang. Meng Yuan Xia.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tara Mastro, and as the director of the undergraduate honors program, I wanted to take a minute to acknowledge their incredible accomplishments. To even start on this journey, they would have to maintain a high academic standard with a very rigorous GPA and having very strong passion for research. And to finish this track and get their honors designation, they have to make a substantial contribution to research in the field of aging and write an honors thesis. So could all of our honors students, undergraduate honors students, please stand while we acknowledge your accomplishments and celebrate.
So next, my name's Sean Curran. I'm the Vice Dean of the School of Gerontology. I'm actually going to ask the GemSTEM scholars to please stand, even though you were just standing up a second ago. So it's my absolute pleasure to present these outstanding young scholars who are graduating today. These are phenomenal undergrads. So in addition to achieving their degrees, oh no, you got to keep standing. In addition to achieving their degrees, they've dedicated themselves to the thrill of scientific discovery by participating in research in labs in gerontology. All of them are truly exemplary, and I'm really proud of all that they've accomplished. All of them are moving into careers in either research, or starting medical school, or professional school, or going into a PhD program. Some of them are moving into careers right away in research, or working in industry or in hospitals. We're really proud of all of you. We can't wait to see that all you accomplish. So please, everyone, join me one more time in acknowledging these amazing scholars. Okay, so part of our celebration today is to recognize the tremendous achievements of 14 scholars that through independent and novel research over the past 4 to 6 years are now getting a doctoral degree. Each of them has made research contributions that have advanced our knowledge and understanding of the world around us, and this has qualified them for the attainment of a PhD or a doctoral degree. The pomp and circumstance that you witnessed as we processed up to the stage today actually has a really deeper meaning that's embedded within each of the faculty members. Each of us that's wearing a distinct cap, a gown, or a hood that you see us wearing as part of our academic regalia. The word academia actually has roots in ancient Greece. Back then, the academia was a place. It was an ancient school of philosophy that was founded by Plato and attended by the likes of Aristotle. The school was located in a region just outside of Athens and was dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Today, the academia is bigger. It's associated with all those that respond to a call of higher education and research, a call that each of you has recognized and answered today. The significance of our hoods that we're wearing date back to those ancient times when Celtic groups and Druid priests, they wore capes with hoods that symbolized higher intelligence and superiority. Just as it was then, these caps and gowns and hoods that are associated with commencement are also symbols of each one of these scholars' achievement. You'll notice that our faculty are each wearing a different color regalia. The colors of each doctoral hood are meaningful in their own right. The two colors that you see on each hood reflects both the subject matter that was studied. So for example, dark blue is a doctor of philosophy, green is for medicine, purple would be for law. And the second color reflects the institution that conferred the degree. And then lastly, there's a narrative from medieval times that describes the nature of the three chevrons that you'll see on the doctoral robe. As legend has it, those three stripes stand for the three pillars of doctoral scholarship: academic curiosity, academic honesty, and academic courage. So today, these 14 scholars are receiving their doctoral hoods. They join the ranks of academics all around the world. Each of them has persevered, having to perform new research in order to advance our knowledge of aging. Each has published their research either in peer-reviewed journals or in resources that are available to the public. And each had to stand up to the highest standards and meet scrutiny of experts around the world. And they've presented their research at national and international conferences, and each of them has contributed to our understanding of the complex challenges that face an aging population. So it's important to remember that this academy that you join now no longer is contained by walls or limited by boundaries or any geographic location. Today, each of our doctorates joins us in a worldwide community of scholars that is dedicated to the pursuit of truth and knowledge through research. Some time ago, each of you answered the call to pursue higher education. Today, we, the faculty of the Leonard Davis School of Gerontology at the University of Southern California, congratulate you on your achievement of the rank of doctorate or Doctor of Philosophy, and we welcome you now as equal colleagues. The doctoral hooding ceremony is more than just a symbolic gesture representing the culmination of their scholarly work and personal achievement. Each advisor that has mentored a student over the past half-decade is going to place the hood over their trainee's head, and this marks the transition from learner to contributor in our field. So although we're going to acknowledge each graduate as their advisor presents their hood, I'd like to take a moment to ask all of you to please join me now in congratulating all of them together. So this commencement is special because we're actually graduating the two of our first graduates from a new doctorate program, the Doctorate of Longevity Arts and Sciences. This program is more than just a simple academic pursuit. It's really a powerful act of vision and compassion where the student's journey culminates in a final summative outcome. This journey offers the student a chance to translate their knowledge into a meaningful action, whether that's writing a book that shifts public perception, founding a nonprofit that would fill a critical gap, or shaping policy that would protect dignity and equity amongst an aging population. It's an opportunity to become a voice for change and a builder of solutions and a steward of the future where growing older is not just possible, but purposeful. So this year, we're actually celebrating our first two doctorates of this program. Although one is celebrating their child's graduation next door, we're thrilled that Stacy White could fly in from Texas, where we can honor her today at our commencement.
Stacy White.
So I'm presenting Stacy with her hood on behalf of her mentor, Dr. Susan Anguidanos. So she developed a website for a nonprofit called Leverage, Care for Caregivers. It provides caregivers with a resource library, an online class, and several caregiver events to build a community. Please join me in congratulating Dr. White. So our next program is the Biology of Aging PhD program. A little over 10 years ago, the leadership at the School of Gerontology and the Buck Institute for Aging Research established the first PhD program in the world that focused exclusively on the biology of aging. The Buck was actually the perfect partner for this endeavor because we shared a deeply rooted relationship with them over the past 30 years of shared experiences. In fact, University Professor Caleb Finch and Dean Emeritus Ed Schneider were among the expert panel of gerontologists that helped conceive the idea of the Buck Institute. And Dean Emeritus Schneider actually served as CEO of the Buck while the campus was being constructed. Over the past decade, the PhD program has sent graduates to postdoctoral fellowships positions in academia and industry positions where they continue to advance the study of aging. These remarkable graduates have studied all facets of the biology of aging, from biochemistry, molecular biology, genetics, cell biology, and neuroscience, all with the goal of achieving a better understanding of the aging process. It's really been a pleasure to watch these trainees' success, and I look forward to seeing what they accomplish in the future. And with that, our first graduate is Dr. Alexandru.
Andrea Christina Alexandru.
So I'm going to present Dr. Alexandru with her hood on behalf of her mentor, Dr. Eric Verdin. Her dissertation is titled Senescence-Associated Beta-Galactosidase Activity Identifies a Pro-Inflammatory Naive T-Cell Subset that Accumulates with Age. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Alexandru.
Hui Shrun Zoe Du.
So I also have the privilege of presenting Dr. Du with her hood on behalf of her mentor, Dr. Dan Weiner. Her dissertation is titled Gravity and Tension, Forces at Play in Aging. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Du.
Jonathan Levi.
Hello, so I'm Dr. Michael Boniguidi, and I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. John Levi. His thesis is Novel Mechanisms Underlying Adult Hippocampal Neural Stem Cell Aging and Rejuvenation. And the 2 seconds that we can say is that he did an absolutely amazing job, and I'm so proud of him. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Levi.
Doyle Lokatayakal.
Hi, my name is Tara Tracy, and I'm very proud to present Doyle Lokatayakal. Doyle's thesis dissertation is titled EIF4B Senses Activity to Switch on Local Protein Synthesis Essential for Synaptic Plasticity. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Lokatayakal.
Siddharth Madhavan.
I'm Dr. John Newman from the Buck Institute, and it's my honor to present Dr. Sid Madhaven. Sid's dissertation was titled On Novel, Non-Energetic Effects of the Ketone Body Beta-hydroxybutyrate in Aging. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Madhaven.
Cassandra Joan McGill.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Christian Pike.
And I'm Dr. Berenice Benayoun. It is our absolute pleasure to present our remarkable PhD student, Dr. Cassandra McGill.
Cassie's dissertation is titled The Impact of Hormones on Immune Function, Cognitive Aging, and Alzheimer's Disease. Please join me in congratulating Dr. McGill.
Sarah Shemtov.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark. I'm here to present Sarah Shemtov to you. Her amazing dissertation is called Exploring the Molecular Mechanisms of Aging, the Impact of Transcript Errors and Mitochondrial Mutations. I'm extremely proud of her. Please join me in honoring Dr. Shemtov.
Bennett Van Camp.
I'm still Sean Curran, but I'm really honored to present Bennett Van Camp, who did their research in my lab for their dissertation. Their dissertation is titled Health and Aging, a multifaceted investigation into the relationship between genetics, diet, reproduction, and movement over the lifespan. Please join me in congratulating Bennett.
Wang Xiang.
Hello, so I'm Michael Boniguidi again. Pleased to introduce Wang Xiang, whose dissertation is Network-Based Approaches Reveal Early Aging and Intervention in Neural Stem Cells and the Neurogenic Niche. Also did an amazing job. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Xiang.
Okay, it's my pleasure to introduce the next gerontology PhD program, which is actually the oldest gerontology program and the first that was ever made in the nation. In 1989, our school created the first gerontology PhD program. Students learn about human development and aging, examine social policies related to aging and the study of neurological, psychological, behavioral, and sociological aspects of lifespan development. In this world-renowned gerontology program, students work closely with the faculty mentor to discover and shape their own academic specialization. Graduates of the Gerontology PhD program are now global leaders in aging research, policy, and services, and have really helped to shape the future world to better serve older adults into healthy lives. And I'd now like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Wilbur.
Doctor of Philosophy in Gerontology, Kelly Marnfeld.
Hi, I'm Kate Wilbur, and it's my honor to present Kelly Marnfeld. Her dissertation was titled Crosswords of Care, the intersection of vulnerability and autonomy in dementia care and elder abuse prevention. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Marnfeld.
Margarita Osuna Castellanos.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Elshire, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to present to you Margarita Maria Valeria Osuna Castellano, who's earning her PhD today with a dissertation entitled Understanding Health and Disability in Latin America, the Role of Environment, Measurement, and Disability. I'm so proud of you. Te felicito mucho por este logro, mi amor, mi corazón.
Sheila Salinas Navarro.
Hello again. It is my honor to present Sheila Salinas Navarro. Her dissertation is titled Bridging the Digital Divide, Expectations, Training, and Use in Older Adults iPad Adoption. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Navarro.
One more time. So, as you can probably hear from all of the titles of the dissertations that were just read, the study of aging is incredibly complex, and as such, it requires a multidisciplinary approach. The Leonard Davis School of Gerontology is the oldest institution to study all aspects of aging, from sociology, psychology, policy, to biology. Most of our faculty hold joint appointments in other schools and departments, and our faculty are an integral component of all of those doctoral training programs. And so today, we're going to honor one more graduate whose home department was outside gerontology, but she performed all of her PhD training within our school.
Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Biology, Carmen Maria Ramos.
So I'm honored to present Carmen Maria Ramos, whose degree is in molecular and computational biology. And her dissertation, which was performed in my lab, is genetically bypassing mitochondrial dysfunction, cell non-autonomously, in C. elegans. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Ramos. If everyone can please join me one more time in congratulating all of our graduates. So before we let you go today, it's our tradition to bestow a few awards that are voted on by the faculty of the School of Gerontology that go to our current graduates. The first is called the Osterberg Award. Heinz Osterberg was the lab manager in Emeritus University Professor Caleb Finch's lab from 1975 to 2005. Heinz was a top-level chemist and a major mentor of bench skills for all of the trainees that made it through the Finch lab for over 3 decades. Heinz passed away April 6, 2022. Dolly, his longtime caregiver, is still caring for his wife, Willie, and they were married for 65 years and had known each other for 70 years. After Heinz retired, a fund was established to award a PhD student that had demonstrated excellence in their training during our commencement ceremonies. The award alternates between our social science and biological science PhD programs. This year, an outstanding PhD from the Biology of Aging program is going to be awarded, and that is Dr. Cassandra McGill. She's coming up.
enough for dinner. I just want to say I met Cassie 7 years ago when she was interviewing, and I said, "Hi, I'm Cassie." And she says, "Hi, I'm Cassie." Congratulations. And we have more awards. The Undergraduate Student Award goes to Joshua Sr.
Josh.
Nice check, too. Congratulations. The Masters Student Award goes to Brandon Keir Smith.
Good job, Brandon.
Congratulations again. Nice check. The Doctoral Student Award goes to Sarah Shemtov. Mazal Tov, Sarah. Nice job. The Dean's Affiliated Doctoral Award goes to Carmen Ramos. Congratulations. The Teaching Assistant Award goes to Meng Zhao Yan. Nice suit. Congratulations. Take care.
Fight on.
Right on. And the last award of today is the Faculty Award. And this year we're honoring Julia Walsh. Well, one more thing we have to do. I'm going to ask all the graduating students to stand up and move their tassel from right to left. Let's have a hand for everybody who's starting a new phase of their life. Congratulations. Congratulations to your parents and families. Thank you for being part of our school. And remember, this is for life. We are the Gerontology Trojan family. Stay in touch. Follow us on Facebook and whatever else there is to do. But we're always family. So stay connected and do great things. Fight on.